Well, welcome back to another step on M&M Model Railway YouTube channel. In this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting some sculpted mold on some rocks that I have molded out of plaster of Paris. And you can see in this picture right here, let me push this over a little bit. So in this picture right here, you're seeing what I'm trying to duplicate on my model train layout. So let's head into my living room and let's see how I got this accomplished. Let's go right now. Well, as you can see, I'm working on the rock shelf by the edge of the canyon there. And as you can tell, the stream actually brings it down back into the river. So the concept is that the river feeds this irrigation ditch, and that irrigation ditch outlets to the stream up there, and then it brings around to this stream over here and lets it back in. So as you can see on the picture on the screen right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to duplicate this green vinage on the top of these rock ledges. So in order to do that, my friends, I need to build a flat surface for that vinage to set on. So basically what I did, my friends, is I took some plaster of Paris and a form, and that's how I made these. Let me show you the mold and the plaster of Paris that I used. Well, here's plaster of Paris. It's a dried mix. It's made for interior stuff. And I basically used these molds right here. And I sprayed some water mixed with rubbing alcohol. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a little bit of a Sculpta mold. I have a little bit left out of the bag that I bought. And then we're going to mix that Sculpta mold up, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to apply it to that rock top and fill in some of them gaps. Let's mix this up and get started. Well, as you can tell, I mixed up my Sculpta mold to look like cottage cheese, and I'm going to be applying it with my V-shaped trowel. That's actually came out of my painter's kit. So in order to do this, I'm going to first fill in some of these voids. Like we got some voids right here and along the bottom. So we don't need to have those voids really showing through all of that. There's a pretty good size void right here. You don't really want that appearance there. Mix a little bit of that stuff underneath there. What I'm going to do to start my top is I'm just going to start here and shape my Sculpta mold and create my ledge on top of there. And takes a little bit of time for it to set up, but I got about 10-15 minutes to get this out of my mixing tray. Then I can mix a rock shelf on the top. So basically, I'm going to use the molded rocks to form my top. So you can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to display here. I think you can see that, and I'll keep working with that, and it'll be a little bit better. Let's move the camera a little bit so you can kind of see how I'm going to do those areas there. So I'm just going to apply some of this and try to make it flat. And I'm just going to jute that out or extend it out wherever that sculpture mold wants to go. And as you can tell, when that starts to set up a little bit, I can go in there and I can form more of a flat surface on there as I'm working with it. This will be a several step process because you want to have that green outcropping like you can see on the screen now. So I'm trying to just build a ledge for that greenery to go on. And I'm really not concerned about how that rock is looking over the edge because I can shape it and blend it in a little bit with my textured rock. As you can see there. And right here where this bridge is at, I'm going to make a tunnel that goes back into that canyon wall there. As you can tell, it's starting to look like there's a flat surface on here where I've building this at. Let's work on this one here a little bit to try to flatten that out. Make it, I don't know what they call this, a green belt, I guess you could call that. But that's part of the structure of the bottom of the canyon that goes up next to a stream, as you can see in that picture there. And this is representing like the train crews. They came in here and they blasted the canyon wall to get this look of this ridge that we're trying to come off of. So basically, I'm going to build this up kind of where this is at right here. I used some smaller rocks in there. When I paint the highlights on there, I think that's going to look pretty nice. But the thing is to create as much of a flat surface as we can, and then that makes it look like the rock face is coming over our stones, you know, the greenery. And this shelf that I'm putting in here, it'll make it look like a tray, you know, like a shelf. And that's kind of the look that I was after there. I don't want to cover up all of those cracks and crevices there because I think they make it a little bit more interesting as part of that back of that wall there. So just trying to form that up a little bit so I can still see the rock concept through there. And as this stuff sets up more, I'll be able to go through there and flatten that out. The nice part about this stuff is it is going to dry white to match my molded rocks there, my pre-formed casted rocks. This will probably be several steps of a video just to do this, because we got to paint it and bring it to life, and then we're going to have to pour water resin in this stream. But I also want to put a row of stream rocks on this bank towards the camera. I think that'll make a pretty good outcropping idea there too. So now, as you can see, I'm just kind of starting to mold that ledge that the vinage is going to sit on through here. So now we're starting to get a flat surface. And you never know, you know, there could be a bobcat or a lion or something that might call this their home. You know, they might walk down through there, you know. So I'm going to blend that in to this corner bank down here. Let me turn this a little bit so you kind of see where I'm at. So I'm down here where this bridge viaduct comes over at. As you know, I built a steel girded bridge here, so we're going to bring this back onto these rocks so it looks like if an animal wanted to, it could actually climb on this area right here. And I'm gonna stop my sculptor mold right here because it looks like we're into the rocks now, so we don't know, kind of where this goes to, or what kind of animal might be sitting on this edge. I want it to look kind of rough because that's kind of what I see in there. And like I said, most of this is going to be covered up with our greenery that's going to come down over those rocks. Like I said, I'll be sharing that in separate step videos, and I'll label them so you'll know when you go to my channel to look at it what I'm building. So I think that's pretty close to setting up now for my rock ledge, and then it kind of goes down hill here, and I think that's looking pretty good. And I don't want it to be really, really smooth, so I'm going to leave that kind of rough coming out there. Build some of this. So it looks like this is part of our rock outlook formation. When I start bringing that to life, you'll see how nice it's looking through there. So I think all in all, that gives us a pretty good shelf edge there to build something on. And I think what I'm going to do is use a little bit of this to fill in over here, because I could use that up a little bit more. Just fill in the rock formations. Top of the rock surfaces, there's a man-made riser out of this. This man came in here, and railroad came in here, and they removed all of the canyon wall, and so the water coming down from the top of the canyon, we don't want it to wash out our rock area here. That's what I'm trying to represent. So this whole area is lined with rocks that they could have got out of a river, or the train could have brought it in and dumped it, and they might have had backhoes or excavating equipment that built this in there. So that kind of fills that area in and makes that rock look like it belongs there. So I like that shape and that contour now. Well, my friends, I think that's going to do it. I think we got a good natural made rock shelf across there. And let me pivot the camera around so you can kind of see kind of what I'm talking about building over here. You can see I've got a lot of stuff in the way here. Let me move some of that out of there. So right here we're going to have a switch track where a single line locomotive could go back in there. And then I want to do a two-lane highway. And so these cars represent a two-lane highway. So it would be right next to it, as you can see there. So I'll be building a bridge, or my wife will be building a bridge that will go back into that tunnel right there. So you can see the cars, and then they'll come off of this center line road right here, and there'll be a track that'll go back there to connect that, and then a siding that will go back in here for the cattle operation thing. So you can kind of see how that's looking, and when I realize how that's done and I finish that over there, we'll put some more of that rock outcropping maybe over there. But I think from standing here in the front of this, I think this looks pretty cool. I kind of like how that looks. We've got some areas where the water's going to flow back in through there. So check out the next video where I actually start painting that and bringing that to life. That'll be coming up next.